Good morning. It is Monday, May 17th, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan, and I have something in my eye. Well, it does something. We're here to practice Tai Chi. Little bit of announcement. I'm still having trouble with my tooth, so anything that's got an S on it, I've got a lisp now. It's going to get taken care of eventually. It's got to get taken care of eventually. The other thing that I'm going to talk about real quick is that my schedule for this session tomorrow, as well as next week, I'm going to focus on reviewing and adding a bit more depth to what I've already presented over this 8-week class. These are kind of like supplemental lessons, I guess we could say. So what I want to do today is to pay attention a little bit to some of the why. I've paid a lot of attention to what to do. When I'm talking about physical movement, here's what we need to do. Do this, step here, go there. I've talked about how to do it, right? This is how we use our stepping method. This is the kind of stepping method that we want for Tai Chi. This is what goes behind it, right? Why? Why do we want to do that? What's the benefit? What do we get out of it? Okay? So pay attention a little bit to that. The physical side of things, there's a little bit of application there. There's also a little bit of body strengthening, balance. I'm gonna talk about that as we go through. The other thing, I'm going to throw it out there. I have been working on a story. It's science fiction. It includes martial arts, of course. And I've set a tentative deadline for me to get the first drafts of this thing done of the end of May. Fingers crossed, it looks real good. I've already written the first book. And I'm looking for anybody, if you guys know anybody that is in the business of being a literary agent, I'm looking. Alright, but that's, anyone who has been following me is going to understand that anything that I've written has threads from the martial arts, from the martial arts philosophy, and from training and practice. That's who I am. So let's practice. All right. Stretches, feet about, repeat the stretches, right? Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight. And I am going to talk about this in a minute. Toes grip a little bit, bend the knees, shoulders down and relaxed. Wiggle fingers, smile. Breathe in, hands circle to the front, back around to both sides, up along center line. Stretch out over the legs. Connect the body, stretch everything. Keep the shoulders down, bend the knees. And pull up. Fingertips up, elbows drop down, wrists, Hands return to your sides. Okay, this one just one more time. This idea of stretch everything. All right, think about your physical body structure. Okay, so I have here's my hand, and here's my forearm, here's my elbow, here's my shoulder, right? Do your own inventory. Okay? As you do that, think about what the muscle structure is for that part of your body. What do the muscles in your hand look like? We don't think about that very often. We use our hands a lot, but we don't think about what those muscles look like. What do they really look like? Same for your forearm, shoulder, torso, so that when I talk about stretch everything, this elbow joint is open, the wrist is open, the muscles along the forearm wrap and stretch, the same from the shoulder down to the elbow, the same for everything through the body. All of it, we're going to engage everything, right? Stand straight, bend the knees, shoulders down, hands circle to the front. Everything stretches. If you're paying attention to everything, it should feel different. Reach up, reach out, extend through the fingertips. Everything reaches out. As you pull up, stretch through the legs. Wrap and pull in. Don't bunch the muscles. One more time. Reach out. Stretch everything. Roll up through the spine. And reach up. Elbows drop down. Fingertips. Hands return to your sides. Okay, I'm going to get a sip of coffee. I'm going to talk about this for just a second, and then we're going to do our side to side. This idea of stretching everything, of using the entire body. If you don't know what your body parts are, and this is not abstract. There's no magical abstract thing that we can do that's going to tell us what our body. You have to look at and understand what your body parts are, where they are, how they work together, and particularly the muscles, tendons, ligaments, and the bone. The bone isn't supposed to move other than at the joint, right? So there's certain things that the bone's supposed to do, right? I use my arm a lot because it's convenient and you can see it, right? The bones in my forearm are not designed to bend here. They're not. If my arm gets bent here hard enough, the bone will break. It's not supposed to bend there. I can bend here. Certain ways I can bend here without breaking, right? Certain ways I can bend here without breaking. Knowing what connects those joints, knowing how they function, how they work, in concert with the muscles, tendons, ligaments, and bones in the body parts that they're connected to. This is more detailed. Right here, it's pretty simple. I got 2 and 2. at 2 and 2. When we start looking at the spine, it's a little bit more complicated, right? You look at your hip, there's just 1 and 1, right? I got one leg and one hip bone, right? The muscles that control that are a little bit more complicated, especially the small ones. Alright? So the point being, as we stretch, just a simple stretch, part of our practice should be and needs to be getting acquainted with our own physiology. That's what you got to work with. You need to know what you got. Right? Side to side. Feet a bit wider than shoulder width. Hands lower tantian or at your waist. I'm on my right. You can be on your left. All the weight over here, there's maybe 5% on the left. And we're just going to straight side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, push, 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 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Center, and come on up. Relax for a second. This idea of push, and I have to do it further back because to camera and all that, but the idea is that as I transfer, and my weight here, this leg pushes down into the heel. This resists. I'm going to try and push myself this way. This pushes down, and I want to go that way. This pushes over this way. And the same to the other side. So that it's not passive isn't quite the right word, but that's what I was going for. It's not passive. It's not I'm here and I'm going to move my weight, right? I'm just moving my weight across the legs. And the legs stay bent and I'm staying right? I'm in the correct position and all I'm doing is going across and back, and I'm taking my weight back and forth. Add to that the idea that this idea of push. I'm on this leg, I'm going to go this way, I'm going to push into this leg, down, and I want to push myself this way. With everything goes. We go back to this everything idea. Everything works. Set into your leg. You just do this with me. Set into your leg. Bounce a little bit so you know where it is, right? Push down. Really set into your, push down through the heel. Push hard. Now change the direction. Down and sideways. Back the other way. Push. Push hard. Push again. Push. Push. Resist with your other leg. Push. Back and forth. Push. Whichever leg is the resist. This leg wants you to go this way. This leg wants you to go this way. Push. Push again. Back the other way. Alright, relax for a second. Your legs should be tired. You should feel that in the upper part of your thigh. Particularly in the inside part of the hip, where the muscles from the thigh go up into the hip. That's where you should feel it. Okay? That push back and forth works through the hip. The inner muscle, and there's three gluteals, the maximus, minimus, and medialis. So it's the minimus and medialis that we're really paying attention to. All right? The stronger your root, the stronger your foot is placed and planted as you push your weight through, the stronger your stance will be when we go to practice Tai Chi. It builds up, it becomes a habit, and you benefit from it. All right, circles. Same idea. Push. Okay, it's not, right? We start out, just the idea, go around the toe, at figure 8, all right? I'm going to start to my right, you can start to your left. Pay attention to that transfer of weight that we were just working. Push down, push through, and resist as you turn. Ready, and start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Resist, extend the leg. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Center and relax. Okay? Why do we care? We're going to extend the leg, we're going to do this, we're going to build this up, we're going to have this flexibility, but we're going to do this. Why do we care? For health purposes, having flexibility is nice. Really is. I've had some injuries where I didn't have the flexibility. It was not nice. It was not fun. I didn't like it. Okay, so having flexibility is good. Keeping the joints open and moving keeps them healthy. You know, if you're going out jumping and doing some things, and yeah, it's probably going to do something that is possibly harmful. But what we're doing here, for the most part, with Tai Chi, is extremely beneficial. And finally, we want to do this because as we practice, being able to move as we choose to move, not some limitation that, you know, my body can't do that, or I can't do this, or I'd like to do that, but I can't. Getting rid of those limitations is, there's a lot of things that you might think you can't do, but you can. You just have to try. And there has to be a way to get from, I can't do this today, to, hey, look at me, I can do this. That's part of what I'm hoping this session and the next couple sessions are going to help with. That I want to get better. I need to understand what I'm going for here. Why am I doing this? What's the good part? Okay? Where does it go? What's the benefit that comes back later? Right? Even if the only thing that you ever learn about Tai Chi is what I presented over this last few weeks. There's going to be some benefit there. Long-term health benefit as well as general quality of life benefit. Yeah, we can go there. All right, let's practice the first part of the form. Moderate speed. This is what we've been covering, right? So my assumption is everybody knows what we're talking about. Everybody knows what we're doing. Feet Feet together. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Wiggle the fingers. Smile. Salute. All the way down to the right. Open the left. Transfer the weight. Center. Arms up. And down. Sink left. Open right. Ward off right side. Step through. Ward off left side. Pull down right. Turn. Step. Turn the waist. Sink. Pull down. Press. Shift back. Push. Turn. Single whip. Extend in both directions. Open. Drop the elbows. Circle. Raise the hands. Turn. Wide crane spreads its wings. And turn. Brush knee. Step up. Hands trim the loop. Brush knee. Shift back. Step through. Brush knee. One more. Step up. Hands trim the loop. Brush knee again. Shift. Deflect downward. Parry and punch. Shift back. Close the door. Turn. Crossing hands. Extend. Press down. Salute. At the very beginning, right here, salute, shift right, open left. In order to release the left, all the weight has to be on the right. Notice that I'm not doing this, right? It's much more subtle. Let the foot release, right? That's why I chose that word, release the left. Let it go. That idea, that concept, right? Transfer the weight, shift back and forth, this weight, and then take this much over here, and I'm going to go back this way, right? We see that repeatedly in brush knee, forward and back, and forward and back, and we have this nice rolling step. That weight transfer Shift here, shift there, go where is my weight? What am I doing with it? Shift back, shift forward, move through the legs as we turn. All right. Refining that movement. Okay. Transfer the weight to the other leg, roll through the foot, step through, is highly beneficial for all of the joints because it doesn't put that weight on any joint. It's just, you look what I'm doing, right? I'm going to walk like this and it's going to hurt both my hips and my knees. It is. Now, I'm exaggerating, but I've seen a number of people, just ordinary people, just walking around, who do things like that. Their knees are stiff, their hips are stiff, nothing bends, and it's not good for their own body, right? So this rolling step, using the muscles, align with the bone, opening the joints, nice open, right? So that there's flexibility and room for the muscles around that joint to move. Ideally, what also happens is that fluid is in the joints that keeps the joints lubricated. The same as in practice, we find that there's more saliva. If we're practicing correctly, by the time you're finished with practice or during practice, there's not really a need to go get a drink of water. You've got saliva in your mouth. You're not dry. It's not, I gotta work real hard. I'm work real hard. Yeah, now that kind, you're burning, you need to rehydrate. With Tai Chi, we're using the body's natural lubricants. Saliva, the fluids that are naturally present in the joints, that are naturally present in our body. We're 97% water anyway, so there is that. All right, so we use those. We can use that. Freshening, come. Pay attention to this rolling motion. Just back and forth. Just pay attention to that just for a second. On the right leg, ready to step on the left, right hand up, left hand down. Step left, freshening. Shift, pay attention to this shift and roll through. Shift and roll. Shift back and forward. Shift back and forward. Shift back one more time and forward. All right, relax. As we shift back, sink into the back leg. Not over it, into it. I'm over my leg. Hip is here. I'm going to shift back over my leg. Hip is here, I'm going to shift back into my leg. Oh, that's different, isn't it? Haha. That's what we want. It's not, I've talked about this, it's not that up and over. As you shift back, sink into it. Sink. Press down. What I was talking about before. Press down. Shift back, press down. This leg, as we turn, pushes back. This leg is going to push forward. Push down into the heel and push back. This leg pushes forward. Extend. One more time. Sink into your back leg. Resist with your front leg. Push back this way. Push this leg forward. One more time. Try not to push yourself forward. Okay? Let me put it this way. Try really hard to resist as you push yourself forward. Okay, so push into your leg. Push into your leg. This leg resists really hard. Push. Don't. Not easy. Push. Push more. Push more. Push more. Push more. Push more. Straighten the leg. All right, and relax. A little work going on there. If you were doing what I was asking you to do, there's a lot of work going on there. Let's do the other side, because I feel like I'm off balance here. Right leg front. Sink back. Push in. Push into your supporting leg. I'm on my left leg now. I was on my right. Whichever leg you were on, get the other one. All right. Sink into this. Use the heel. Push into the heel. Push back. Push forward. Work it. Yeah, harder. All right, again. Push. Push with both legs. Set this into the floor. Your heels should be well planted. You're pushing. On this way. Push. Forward. Extend. Stop. You need to go. We're talking about legs and feet, and you being in the legs and the feet is not someplace you need to be right now. Okay? Thank you. Shift back. On a back leg. Push. All right, and relax. Ideally, your legs are telling you that you just did something. Okay? That's what should happen. When we practice Tai Chi, we do all sorts of things that are intended to be relaxed, supple, calm, well-placed, and in harmony with the physical movement that we have, the nature and the shape of the forms that we're doing, and the principles that go behind. That doesn't mean that Tai Chi isn't a martial art, right? That the exercises have applications in addition to the health benefits and the physiological benefits and all of the other, there's applications that go with. All right? In regular practice, this kind of leg work to strengthen how we move, right? To strengthen the legs, to develop greater strength, holding, resilience, flexibility through the leg and the hip. Highly beneficial for health benefit. Fundamental for most of the martial art applications. This idea of just a brush knee. I like using simple things because it gives a very clear example. Brush knee. Just physical movement, right? What am I doing? What am I doing? What's any one possible application for brush knee? Obvious. Lowest elbow. I've talked about this quite a bit. A brush knee twist step is the Chinese. So as I step through, I'm going to step in clear with this hand. So step in, clear. This is, now my opponent is rather open. So my assumption could be that I'm moving, I've stepped in, and this is the hand that I've moved out of the way. This could be an assumption that I'm stepping in and it's a leg that I'm moving out of the way. If it's a leg, my opponent is foolish. But that's their choice. Alright, so step in. Something gets moved out of the way. Right? This hand, hey, hi, how are you? Comes through to the center. If I am not well placed over my legs, when I connect with whatever it is, the center of my opponent, I will knock myself over. I will. Makes it real easy for my opponent to grab my hand and knock me over too, so we don't want to do that. If, on the other hand, right, this makes it easy. This doesn't. Right? Which one would you prefer to offer to your opponent? The easy one or the more difficult one? I'm going for the more difficult one. Alright? So, this is correct, but there's a little bit missing. That's better. Yeah, I wasn't sinking all the way. It's just that little bit. We have in Tai Chi, we have the idea that 4 ounces can deflect 10,000 pounds. This is true. If the force is applied at the right time, at the right place, it takes very, very little to change the trajectory and to change the dynamic of a movement. Timing is key. Knowing where to put it is even more important, right? Timing and placement. Placement, set into that heel. As you step through, turn through the hip, turn through the waist. Both go together. Push into the back leg, resist with the front. Do this, when you go back, let's do 8s. I'm going to turn around, so we'll be on the same side. Start with the right leg back. Set. And what I want you to pay attention to is the weight transfer using the leg to sink and push through. Not over. Sink, push through. Sink, right? Sink, push through. Resist. Again, 4. Use the back leg, 5. Extend the leg, 6. And last time, change legs. Four. Use the leg. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this lesson, takeaway, use your legs. Develop the skill, use simple exercise, develop the skill that as you're moving through, there's resistance to push forward, there's resistance coming back. This push me, pull me, yin and yang, right? This opposition, these opposing forces, when we use them the way that Tai Chi asks us to use them, right? We can develop a greater level of strength, a greater level of flexibility, and a greater facility. It's easier, right? With whatever movement we want to do. I'm going to talk more about a little bit of this tomorrow, but I'm going to focus a bit more on the internal aspects and how the internal workmanship goes along with the external to create that sense that we want to create in our Tai Chi practice, that it's calm, and relaxed, and whatever we're doing has the outward appearance of softness. While inwardly we're very strong. Appreciate you being here this morning. Thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow. More of this review, the internal focus. Wednesday, Xingyi and Wudang's 3 methods. Thursday and Friday, Qigong. Hope to see you then. Thanks.